Jared Kushner says he's been trying to keep his body in shape because he might one day become immortal. Kushner, former President Donald Trump's son-in-law, said during a live stream this week, he was keeping trim in the event that medical science allows him to live forever. During the stream, Kushner said that he had made it a priority to exercise more after leaving the White House, where he served as a senior advisor to Trump. Okay, let's just, is this it?
Yep, that's it.
And then finally, I think that from the last year, the one thing I've tried to put a priority on since I left the White House was, getting some exercise in. I think that there's a good probability that my generation is, hopefully with the advances in science, either the first generation to live forever or the last generation that's going to die. And so we need to keep ourselves in pretty good shape. And
I went to a meeting in Los Angeles with an organization, I think it was called the Senescence Foundation. Have you heard of that? A scientist, this was a decade ago. This is longer than a decade ago. This is 12 years ago. Scientist by the name of Aubrey de Grey was giving a presentation. And I think he was the one who said this, that he said people under the age of 45 today will live forever. And I could be, it's been a long time since, he may have said live to be 1,000 or something. And he said it's not because in the next 10 years they're going to invent immortality or some kind of treatment. It's that the rate of solving human ailments will outpace the rate at which people are dying from ailments. So that means when you're 80 and your heart is failing, they will have developed a treatment to strengthen and revitalize your heart. Then you live till 100. Then your brain starts going. But by then they've already developed the brain treatment to fix your brain. Then the skin treatment. Then by the time you're 300 years old, they've got a treatment for everything. And now you're basically 300, but you look like you're 24.
Telling you, man, if they have you in a tank of goo, you're moving very slowly. Your body's not aging rapidly, maybe not even aging at all.
But that's hypothetical. Tank of goo. That's the thing. They don't need you in the tank of goo. And actually, my girlfriend.
They don't want you in the tank of goo. Ian, you think they want you to be immortal?
Well, they're talking about life extension technology. Jason is dying to talk here. I'm going to let him talk in just a little bit, but I just want to interject with two more points here. Sorry, this is like the old days here. I love it. But Kushner, again, he's not a good person. He's the guy who personally lobbied Donald Trump to bomb Syria. Donald Trump personally listened to him to do this. He also personally lobbied to give a better weapons deal to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, that's committing one of the worst humanitarian crises right now in Yemen. These are not good people. And these are the next people who are going to be gods in our society. This is crazy. Jason, go ahead.
So you talked about Aubrey de Grey. My girlfriend actually interviewed him yesterday. Oh, and we were watching Immortality Inc., which was a forum that he was on with Calico, by the way, the Immortality division of Google. And
it's of Alphabet. It's one of Alphabet's companies.
Yes. And then Richard Harari, who's a part of, I think, Longevity Inc. And, we study this stuff. And he's talking about, like you said, regenerative technology. In other words, really de-aging and repairing the human body so that physiologically you could live for an indefinite amount of time. Now, this is why the sustainability agenda is extremely dangerous, okay? And how would they get there? So everybody saw Joe Biden at the Global Health Fund kind of go off to the side and look very confused and not know what he was doing, right? Did anybody actually listen to what he said? In a room full of people, first of all, introduced by Bill Gates, up on stage with Trudeau, Macron, all these other players, he talked about how the return for this financially for those that will invest is 31-1 in returns. Now, a lot of people have
played. So who do I call to invest in that?
Well, I mean, if you want to get in on it, basically, he said for the nation states and NGOs that are putting in $1 billion, the United States is going to put in $2 billion.
Oh.
Okay, and guess who's paying for that $2 billion? It's me and you. I mean, that's going to be taxpayer money. But while they bring in these modes of control, we're going to be talking about insurmountable profits for these people. So they're motivated to control us and command us into these systems by profit, and we pay for it. Biden may be just, an empty vassal. He can still kind of read off the prompter. So that is the agenda, in my opinion. And while they do that, sustainability is the code word for our standard of living going down. They're consolidating the actual resources and the control over technologies such as, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's several articles about it, of bunkers in case things pop off here, whether it be that nuclear war or something else. And they're utilizing NASA tech.
What if they already discovered immortality? And then all of these wealthy elites, they're at a company, whatever, Calico, is it the company?
Yeah, that's one of Alphabet's companies.
Let's say they're sitting around and they're like, so guys, we did it. We've figured out immortality. And then how much does it cost? Actually, not that expensive. Maybe like $50,000 a person, and your treatment will make you live forever. And then someone else went, but we don't want most of these people to live forever. They're kind of dickheads. What do we do? How can we wipe out all of the people before giving only the good people immortality? Because if you give only the good people the immortality, you're only biologically immortal. You can still get crushed by a semi or something, right? So what if, I suppose what I'm trying to get at is, if all of this stuff is true and they really believe this, certainly Vladimir Putin knows a lot about this, why then would he choose to go to war against it? Either, I think the obvious thing is, because he mentioned Satanism and weird stuff, he ideologically opposes whatever this is. Maybe it's coming from a religious place, or he knows he's in on it and they're trying to cull all of the nasty poor people they don't like.
Yeah,